guys, welcome to javaisawesome, and in this video we are going to talk about file handling. And really it's important also, because if you know, then only you can understand how we are maintaining the data and how we are storing the data inside the database, and it's really important. Okay, so if you don't know file handling, then you can't understand like how to read file, how to write a file, okay, and how we are maintaining our file in the real time. Okay, so let me start with the file handling and we can discuss one by one. Okay, so if I start with the file handling, let me create one class. Okay, otherwise do one thing, let me open my notepad. Okay, so I have opened my notepad here. Okay, let me write file handling. Okay, so this is our topic today, we are going to discuss about it. And in the file handling we are talking about like how to write a file inside our drive or C drive. So where we are creating a file basically, so we have a like C drive, B drive or F drive, whatever the external drive we have, so we are storing the data. Okay, but before going to understand those things, I'm going to ask you one question. Like right now we are generating so many data, we are storing a string, list of the string, and we are doing the operations on the list of the strings, and we are doing the manipulations. In the previous project we have already seen all those things. Okay, we are creating a loop, we are storing a lots of the data. So where those data exactly is stored? So those data will stored in the RAM. What is the RAM? So RAM is a volatile memory. Once your work is end, once your like whatever the operations you are doing, whatever the application you are running, once it is completed, your data will erase from the RAM. Okay, once you shut down your system, your all data of the RAM will be erased. Okay, erase once shut down. Okay, one stop your system, you can say. Okay, because we are storing all those data inside the system. Okay, so that is the issue, we are not able to store. Again we are going and we are creating one more project, and we are running same thing data, we are not able to see those data. Okay, so for explaining those things, let me what I am doing is I'm going to create one package here, and inside the package I'm going to create one class. Okay, and I will give the class name, for example, test file handling. Okay, let me write the test file handling. Okay, so this class we have created, and inside the class I'm going to create one what we called main method, and then after inside the main method I will create a sum of the data and I will store it. Okay, I have stored it, and let me write a list of a string. Okay, and inside this string you can say names. So those are some names, and I will store the name called list. Okay, so I will call the list list. So this is the java.util.list dot as list, and I will store the data directly inside this. So let me write as list. Okay, otherwise you can give the off also. Okay, so with the off also you can assign lots of the data inside this, and here I will give some data called prints. Okay, princ prints, comma Deepak. Okay, with the comma separated I will write Ajay. Okay, so this is the some names I have given. Okay, and I have stored this name. Okay, I have stored these names, okay, in the list, which is list, right? And what I'm doing is, okay, I'm trying to print all those lists once. Okay, so what I'm doing is basically, okay, and I'm going to print here the names. Okay, so once I print this data, it means that we have created the object of the list of names, which is a string, and we have stored. So those data will stored inside the where? In our RAM as an object it's created. Now I'm thinking I don't want to store those value. I don't want to store those value in directly. I will take one array list. Okay, and with the help of the array list I will take those value from the users. So I will write one for loop. Okay, I will write one for loop. let me write for iterate over the index array dot length. So I don't want to go as of now that much. I will give something 5, okay, and I will start with the 1. Okay, so it will restore 4 only. So give the equal to, so it will go up to 5. It will restore 5% data. And here I'm going to take those values from the user. So for that I have to write a scanner, right? So a scanner sc equal to new scanners I will write, and here I will write system.in. Okay, so we have created the scanners. Okay, now what we can do is, with the help of the scanner, we can put the data inside this names array list. So I will write names dot add, and in add method I will write sc dot next. So through that I will take the value and I will store inside this. So I have to take 5 data. So what I am doing is, I have written 1 line of the codes. It will iterate 5 times and it will store the data inside this. Okay, let me run once. Okay, just see the behaviors, like how it's working, and go to your console and it's pointing here. Now here you can give something like Prince, okay, Jay, Sonu, Deepak, Ajit. So this is some name I have given, and I have, you can see it's stored in the RAM. Okay, so those data will came here and we have taken and we have stored it also. Okay, that is fine, but whatever as of now I am doing, those data will be stored in the RAM. That is clear. Okay, if again I will came and again I will run the same application, I can't see those data. Again I have to enter it, then only I can see. Once our application is stopped, I can't see those data. Okay, so that is the one problem you can say. Okay, so the data will not store permanently. This is the issue. While storing a data, in RAM, it will not store permanently. It will not store permanently. You can say simple words. But I want to store my data permanently. What can I do? So if you want to store your data permanently, you have to take the help of the file. Okay, so file will, in the Java and any language you can take, in the all those languages having a file support. So you can store the data in the file. Store data in file. You can read also. Read data from file. You can modify also. Modify data from file. So those all operations you can delete also. So those operations you can perform in the file, and it's very easy. Okay, you just have to write some codes for the file handling and you can achieve those things. Okay, so what are the types of the files? So if I talk about, so mainly we are storing the data in the normal txt file. Okay, we are storing a data in the csv file. We are storing a data in the xml file. We are storing a data into the some other file like json file. Okay, properties file. We are storing a data in the xls. xlx means like whatever the excel sheets we have, in that also we can store the data. Okay, if it is required, you can store the data. So this is the file extension I am showing you: .txt, .csv, .xml, .json, .properties file, .xls files. So this is the some of the files where you can store your data using the help of the Java, which is file handling, and those you can do the all those operations. But still, storing a data inside the file, that is not secure. That is not secure. Storing data in file, that is not secure. That is not secure. Secure. So it means that if you are doing the operations with the help of the files in the Java, it will not storing the data in the secure manner. Okay, so that is the issue we have. Okay, So this is the file handling we have understood. Then again it will came with some of called object input stream, object output streams, input output stream. Okay, input output stream. So some of the classes will came to protect your data. So they are using something called protecting for the security. For security, he providing something like a store data in binary format. Binary format means binary format or encrypted format in the object. Binary format and encrypted data format, so that those data will not readable and you can store those data. Okay, so basically we are storing a Java object. Okay, so we can store Java object inside this file. Okay, so it will make like it will provide some security, but still those are not maintainable. You can't do the modify and something operations. It's a very lengthy code. While writing a code, developer have to put lots of effort. So that is also not good. Okay, that is also not good way to store the data inside the files, but we can understand like how exactly it will work. Okay, so then after like we are storing all those file data with the file input output stream. Apart from this, so many classes will be introduced in the Java for protecting the files and doing the operation. But in the right now in the market, there is no existing of the file maintenance. Okay, because in top of the file there is so many technology will came while doing and the operations with the help of the data. So we are using those technology, we are not using those file system. Okay, because if you use the file system, it's a very lengthy, very clumsy, lots of the efforts you have to put, and still your data will not good secure manners. Okay, so then we can move to the JDBC or database, you can say. Okay, database. So in that case you have to know about what are the database. Okay, so in Java having a database called so many databases will support the Java. So we have a database called MySQL, we have a database called Oracle. Okay, so those are the relational database we have. Apart from this, so many database will be available, but I'm not going to talk about those. Okay, so JDBC, Java database connectivity. This is the Java database connectivity. Let me write Java database connectivity. So if you want to store your data, we can go with the file permanently, we can go with the input output stream, you can go with the JDBC, and with the help of the JDBC we can store our data inside the database, and this database will permanently store your data, in database with full control and security. Okay, so right now even if you are creating in a simple application, we are going to store our data inside the MySQL database or Oracle. Through that you can get so many benefit and so many things. Okay, so right now JDBC is very popular. So once you complete the Java course, you can start to understand how JDBC will work and how we are inserting the data inside the JDBC. It's very easy also. Okay, but I will try to teach you guys, okay, how we can connect with the MySQL, our database also. Okay, it's very easy. Okay, now you can see, so this is the JDBC will come, and then after the JDBC it will come so many technology. Okay, if I tell you the technology name, so if I tell you the technology name, so we can say Hibernate it came. Okay, then after it came the technology, one more technology called JDBC template. Okay, apart from this we have came with something called JPA. Okay, ORM, object relational mapping. Okay, so this is the lots of the technology we have to store the data in database. All those technology will help us to store data in database. Those things you have to remember it. So there is lots of the technology will came, but once you understand the JDBC, you don't want to worry about anything. You can easily understand those things also. Okay, but in our case, as a simple core Java developers, we have to know about like how file will work, how input stream will work, and how JDBC will work. Later in the Spring or Spring Boot, we can understand what is the Hibernate, JDBC template, JPA, ORM, all those modules. Okay, fine guys. Okay, let me go to the slide. I hope you understood like how we are storing the permanent data in the database, so that in the later after 3 days or after 4 days we came back and we can again start our applications. Then we can see all those records are available in our files. Okay, so let me go ahead and you can see here file handling in Java. So what is basically file handling? So file handling in Java is the process of working with file stored on a computer, hard drive, or other storage device. It allows Java programs to create, read, write, and manipulate the files, so we can do all those operations. Okay, the Java files class is used for the file handling. Basically we are using it's provide a method for creating, deleting, and renaming files, as well as checking file properties such as a file size, last modified time, each and everything you can check. Okay, the file reader and file writer classes are used for the reading and writing text file, while the file input stream and file output stream classes are used for working with the binary files. Okay, understood? The file reader and file writer, this is the very important class. With the help of those class only we can write our data into the file and we can read data from the files. Okay, let me go next. Okay, and if you go with the here also I have explained, while the file input stream and file output stream classes are used for working with the binary files. So if you want to store the data in the binary files, you can go with the file input stream, output stream. Otherwise, if you have a text data, you can go with the file reader and file writer. That's it. Okay, file reader and file writer. Otherwise, file input stream, file output stream. Here if you see Java file writer class declarations. So Java file writer class declaration, you can see, let's see the declaration of the java.io.file writer classes. So this is available in java.io. io means input output. Okay, we have a one extended the output stream writer, you can see here. So this is the declarations of our classes file writer. So public class file writer, extend output stream writer. In the same thing you can have several constructors. Constructor of the file writer class is like file writer, we can pass our file name here. So it will create the file and it will whatever the value you can give, it will store all those data inside this file also. So create a new file, it gets file name in the string and it will create a file name. File writer if you take, so create a new file and it gets file name in the file object. Okay, so this is the things you can do it. Okay, it's very easy. So before going to do anything, let me understand like what are the methods are available in the file writers. Okay, so the methods of the file writer is like write, and you can give your text. So it is used to write a string into the file writer. Write character, you can write inside the file writer. You can write character array also. You can flush it, you can close it. Okay, so those are the things you can perform with the file writers. Okay, I'm not talking about the file reader as of now. Okay, and let's go and do the practicals of file writer and how it will work, and we can see all those methods also how it is working. Okay, if I go here, so let me stop our code. Okay, and inside this I am going to create one more package. Okay, so before going to create a package, let me remove this completely, delete this project, and I will create new project for that. Okay, so you can go to the file, new project, you can select Java project, and with the help of the Java project you can give the project name. So you can give the file handling. Okay, so through the file handling we have created, okay, one of the project name. Inside this if you go, we have a module info, just remove it. Okay, it's an unused file you have seen, and click on the src, control N, search class. Okay, and here you can give the some package name. So I'm going to give the package name com.file, and class name we can give like file test. It's a simple names. Yeah, File writer test you can give also, file writer test. Okay, and inside there is no file. If you see here, there is no files. If you see here, there is no files. Okay, but I want to create one file, so I can write one name. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one file. So let me write main started. Okay, this is the things I have written, and one more line I have to read, main end. Okay, and inside this I'm going to write a line of the code, file writers. Okay, so one thing is like you can directly pass your file name. Okay, you can take the help of the file writer which is available in java.util package. So file writer equal to new file writer, you can pass, and here you have two options, file writer. In the file writer you can see you have two options. One is you can pass the file object, otherwise you can pass the file name, file descriptions. Okay, and otherwise you can pass something different, file writer, file name and boolean, it will append or not, those things. File writer you can pass the file and caret also, file writer, file name and append, boolean or true you can give, file writer, file name, and those things you can do it. So many things. So let me give and take this one, file writer and with the string name. Okay, and here I will give the our what we can say, our file name. So I'm going to give the file name called java file.txt. we have to create. Okay, and it's saying something, so let me check. It's saying like surrounded with the try catch. So if you do the work with the file handling, definitely the IO exception whatever we have seen while handling an exception, that time you can see like what is the checked exception, what is the unchecked exception, what is the runtime exception, what is the compile time exception. So right now if you see here, it's a compile time exception, it means checked exception. Compile time exception is nothing but checked exception. So you have to handle the try catch, this line of the code. So those line you have to put inside the try and catch, then only it will work. So this is the one thing. Okay, you have to put those line of the code inside the try and catch. Otherwise if you don't want to put in try catch, you have to throw the exceptions. So while throwing exception also you can remove your error, and that is possible. So what we are doing is like we are saying if any exception is occurred here, just throw it. So it will go to the JVM because JVM is only calling this main method. So JVM will handle it. Okay, and this is giving the input output exceptions, file writer. Okay, once it is done, we can check like what are the methods are available. So file writer dot we have a append method, we have some method called append, close, equals, plus, get class, get encoding, hash code, notify, wait, write. So this is the write method. With the help of the write method, what we can do, we can write the data inside those files, those file names we have given here. Okay, so let me write some data also. Okay, dot created, otherwise I can write here like write, and inside the write I can pass the string directly, that is possible. So I will pass like java is awesome, you can learn Java from what, our website. So this is the message I have given, and after that message I will try to close it, because whenever you open the file means like one of the connection is created between your external, like whatever the memory you have in your external data, external C drive, D drive, those and your application. So one drive will active. If you not close those drive, it will corrupt your system. So every time try to close those things. Okay, and otherwise your system will go slow down. Okay, so this is the things you have to do. So every time close the streams. So we are doing the close. Only 3 lines of the codes I have written here. Okay, if you see there is no files, let me run once and we can see the file. It will generate automatically this file name. The file name is nothing but what, java file.txt. So let me run this. Okay, so once I run this, you can see like main method started and main method ended, and there is no file we are able to see. So let me refresh this project. So once I refresh it, you can see one file is created here, which is java file.txt. if you open this file, you can see your message, whatever the message you have given, those message only it's showing. Okay, that is the fine. Okay, fine. If I want to add some more message inside this Prince Kumar, okay, and let me runs one more times. So if I run one more times, it's run. Let me go to the files, and if you see the files, it's changed. We have written the Prince Kumar. Okay, so it will erasing the previous data, like whatever the previous data having the file, it's removing and it's creating the new file and it's storing those data. But I don't want like that. I want previous data also, because today I run the application, maybe tomorrow I will run the application, day after tomorrow, day after tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Those, if the previous data will be removed, how can I maintain my applications? So I want those stored data, whatever the previous I have done. So for that you can go with the append. Okay, so here if you see, it's given like file name dot true or false, you can pass. So it will say true means it's appending the files. Okay, so let me run one more times. Okay, so if you see and if you go to the files, you can see like it's appended. Javaisawesome, you can learn Java from website, and again after that it's writing the Javaisawesome, and you can learn from the Javaisawesome from the website Prince Kumar. Okay, you can see 2 times, so it means it's a previous data also it's storing. If I run one more times my application, one more times, so all those data will be stored inside my application. If you want to see, you can see here. So this is the Javaisawesome one time, learn from our website Prince Kumar. Again it's started, so many times I have executed, so it will print so many times. Okay, if I do like that, you can see lots of that time. Okay, so this is the times we have done. Okay, let me save this file and let me run one more times. So if I run one more times the same applications, you can see the data inside this. So if you see the data, it's appending the last line, not in the first line, it's stored in the last line, so it's one of the line we created. Okay, so generally like that it will work. Okay, but still you can assume, like you can feel like maintaining a data into the file, that is very difficult, I feel personally. But if you go with the database, it's a very easy to update, very easy to maintain each and everything. Okay, so this is the one thing. For example, you don't want to store your data here, so let me delete this file. Okay, let me delete this file. Okay, and I don't want to store my data here. I want to go my system, and I have some drive. Okay, for example, I have some drive called P drive. Inside the P drive, I have a Java batch 2023. Okay, I'm going inside this, and here I'm going to create one folder which is called file. Anything you can give the name of the folder. So let me give the name of the file, and inside the files, I'm going to create one file name. I don't want to create a file name, there is no file inside this, so I'm just copy this path. Okay, and I have not given any file inside this file. Okay, and let me go to our application, and in the applications I will give the path of those. Okay, and like that I can give. So p/java batch file, and create this file. So if you go and see, there is no file inside this, like Java file. Okay, and if you come back, you can see here, once you run this file, you can see those data will be written on those place. Okay, let me run slogan. So once I run it, if you go to our file, you can see one file is created, and if you open this file, okay, so you can see those data. Okay, so this is the things you have to understand, guys. Okay, like how we are maintaining the files in file system. Okay, so as of now we understood like how to store the data inside the files and in our application also. So we have to see like you can store in our application directory also, you can store in the some specific file also, directory also, so that is possible. Okay, and now I want to do something like let me see some of the, like what are the methods, other methods we have. So fw dot append. So for example, I want to append something like Java is Otherwise, batch 2020. I want to append it. That's it. I just have written the append. And if I run this one more times and it's a true, and let's go to the file. So if you open the file, you can see the data. So if you see here, it say like javaisawesome. You can learn from your website. Javaisawesome. You can learn from our website. And finally, it's appended our data batch 2020. Okay, guys, you understood? Okay, let me check some other method also, like fw dot append. We have already checked. Closed already checked. We have, and get class notify write method we have already checked. Write with the different things. So I think it's done. So right now we are able to write the data, okay, inside the files, okay, and that is possible. It's not a difficult task to do it. Okay, fine, guys. Okay, so this is, we have understand like what is the file writer and how we are writing the data inside the file. But this is only able to store the string data. File writer will able to store the string data, and also in the form of the string only it will store the data. It will not store in the form of the object. Okay, so this is the things as of now we have understood. Okay, we have understand write plus method, so it will immediately like flush it so that data will be stored into the system. Okay, let me go and discuss the what is the file reader class declarations. So file reader means like it's capable to read the file data and came back to the our application. So this is the benefits having with the file reader. So let us see the declaration. So it's also available in the java.io files. Public class file reader extend input output stream. Okay, and constructors of the file reader class you can see here. So what are the constructors are available? File reader, you can pass the string file name and you can pass the file class also. Okay, let me talk about one more things. Here I have directly give the file name. Okay, so while giving the directly file name here, we can give something like that also. Okay, something like that also. You can create one file first. So in our Java having a one file class. Okay, java.io file f equal to new file. Okay, so you can create the file also, and inside the file constructor you can pass your locations of the files, and then after those files you can pass inside it. That is also possible. So like that also you can do. Okay, but directly also you can pass here, that is not issue. Okay, if you run one more times and if you go and see the data, okay, into the files, so you have to refresh it first, I think. So let me go to the your application, and this is the files. Let me open. So if you see the files, you can see 3 data is appended. Okay, guys. Okay, so this is the things we have understand as of now. So we can create a file class also, and with the help of that file class you can store those files here, and you can pass for the append true, so it will also work. Okay, okay, so this is the file reader we are talking about. So we have a different file reader constructor. Okay, we can pass the file, we can pass the file name directly a string as a string. Methods of the file reader class: file input streams, int read. So we have an int read method. It is used to return a characters. It will not return the whole string. Yeah, like so many people are going confused. Like read method will return whole data, but not. It will return one by one characters and ASCII value. Then you have to convert those value inside the our character value. Then only you can print it. Okay, this is the things you have to understand. And if there is no data, if it is end of the file, it will return -1. Okay, so those things you have to understand. Void close, we have a close method, so it is used to close the file reader class. Okay, if we talk about the file reader class, the file reader class is used to read data from the file. It returns the data in the byte format, like file input string class. It's a character oriented classes, which is file used for the file handling into the Java. Okay, what is file writer? So I'm not going to talk about the file writers. Okay, file readers we have talked, file writer we have already talked. Okay, and this is the file writers. Okay, so what is the file writer basically? So file writer is a class in what that is used for the writing a text data to the file. Okay, you can just go through that theory, you can understand. It is a subclass of the output stream writer class, which is provide a breeze form of the character stream by the byte stream. The file writer class provides several constructors that allow you to specify the file, to write to as well as point for the appending to the file or overwriting it. Once a file writer object is created, you can use it with the write method to the text data into the file. You can use the plus method to ensure that buffer data is written to the immediately into the file. Close method is used to the close the file. Okay, the file input stream and file output stream class are used for reading and writing a binary data to the files. Okay, so this class we are not using as of now. Okay, we can use. So those examples you have already seen, like we have created a file writer, we have passed our file name, and here we have write with the help of the write method, and we have closed it. We have already seen those examples. What is the file reader? So file reader is a class in Java that is used for reading text data from the file. It is a subclass of the input stream reader class, which is provide a bridge from the file in a stream character. File reader class provides several constructors that allow you to specify the file to the read form. Once the file reader object is created, you can use it to read method to read the text data from the file. The read method returns an integer. Focus here. Read method will return the integer value that represent the character read over -1 if the end of the files has been reached. Okay, you can see this example of the file reader. So what we are doing is we are creating an object of the file reader here. We are passing in our file, and then after we have created one characters like integer value, and with the integer value we are checking like we are reading 1 by 1 character. So if character is equal to reader dot read, reader means file reader, so reader dot read, if it is give something integer value which is not equal to -1, then we can print those data, otherwise do the close and come out. Okay, so let me go with that example so that you can understood in the better way. Okay, so this is the things as of now we have understood. Now I am going to read some of the files. Okay, so how can I read some of the files? Okay, so let me refresh this first of all. Okay, in the same code what I am going to do is I will take this file only. Okay, this file only, and I will create one more class. Okay, the name of the class I will give like file reader text, and this is the file reader text. Inside this I will create a main method. Okay, inside the main method I will give the file. So this is the same location file we have already given, and now I will create the file writers, file readers. So it's available in java.io file reader. File reader equal to new file reader, and inside this you can pass your file. Okay, just file name you have to pass here. Okay, and you have, it will throw the exception. It's a checked exception, so you have to surround it with the try and catch. That is good practice. Okay, so we have surrounded those file with the try and catch. Okay, those file, and otherwise do one thing, remove this code. Okay, and throw it. That is good better, I think. And let me give and throw it so that it will look clear. So we have throw the file input output exception, it will throw. And now into the third lines what I am going to do is I am going to read those data. So I have to declare one character, so I have declare one character ch, and every time fr having a one read methods. Okay, so if I want to read the first characters, okay, what I have to do, I have to write ch equal to what, fr dot read. So it will read one character, it will return it also. Okay, surrounded with the throw, so IO exception, then it will handle it. So this ch, and now if I print those ch, okay, so those ch will nothing but it will print one data, one characters, and which is not, those character is integer value because we have stored the some, it will print the ASCII value. So you can see 106. So 106 is something ASCII value of j, I think. Okay, and if you convert those j into the characters, now it will print the correct characters, which is the first character of our file, which is j. But I don't want to read only j, I want to read complete file data. How can I do it? So in our file, if you see, there is so many data. I don't want to read only one characters, I want to read whole characters. How can I read whole characters? So for that you have to write one loop. You have to write one loop, while, while loop I will take, and inside the while loop I will write one condition. What is the conditions? I will say if ch equal to, if ch you can read. So fr dot read, same thing, read it, and if this value, let me give the parenthesis, if this value is not equal to -1. What is the meaning of that? So we are reading this value, right? Ch. So if I write here, it will not come inside the loop, so we have to remove from here. Okay, and those line I have written inside this loop, so that it will every time read one value, and it will read the value, it will check the condition every time. So that time what will happen is, it will read one character and it will store those characters inside the ch, and now it will become a ch whatever the characters we have, and we are checking those characters. Like previously we have checked like 106, which is not equal to -1, it means those having some ASCII value. So we will come inside this and we can open the loop and we can close the loop. After that, let me format it, and you can clearly see this condition is false, like true, because 106 is not equal to how much? -1. So what we are doing is, we are printing those value character, not ASCII value. Okay, so that we can see all those things. I hope you know the ASCII value, how it will convert. Let me run once. Now you can see it's printed all those characters. If I show you the console, you can see it's printed javaisawesome, even space also it's printed. But how it's printed? In the vertically. I don't want vertically. As of now you understood, it's reading only one characters, right? You understood? But it's printing a vertically one character. I don't want to print one characters in the vertically. I want to read and print same way, that way it's written. So let me run one more times. So now if you see, and if I open the console, you can see it's written javaisawesome. You can learn from your website. Javaisawesome, you can learn from your website. Each and every character it's printed, and we are able to see here it's a string. So that is the magic, it's happened. Okay, so this is the examples I have given to you guys, and like that only you can do. If you don't want to create any files, you can directly pass the file name also here, it will work. Those data you can copy and you can paste inside the file reader directly in the string format, that will also work, and it will read those files also. Okay, so as of now we have understood how file writer, how file reader will work. Okay, and we have seen the example also. In the next video we can see what is the advantage and each and everything. We can do some more practice on that. Okay, and we can complete those things. Okay, one more things, we have opened the file reader but we have not closed yet, so it's our responsibility to close it. So before going to close, first do the flush. So fr dot flush, fr file reader dot, what is the flush method is not available. Okay, it's not writing, it's just the reading. So in the reading, plus method is not available, close method is only available. Okay, so here you can do the plus. Before, once you append it, so you can do writer dot plus. Okay, because you are writing a data inside the file, so that time flush is required. Reading time, that is not required, so that he not given the in the file reader flush methods. Okay guys, I hope you understood and it's working fine, and you understood how to read the data from the files, how to write the data from the files. Okay, thank you so much guys. If you have any issue, please let me know. Thank you.